Hi Tribe. So I'm going to actually present on my personal page in the hope that it gets a little bit more traction. And the reason I want to get a little bit more traction is so that I can serve and help people. So today I'm talking about the 7 links between unhealthy relationships with food and unhealthy relationships with money. And in life, I look for patterns in my clients' lives. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you have really poor hygiene when it comes to your money, it's very, very likely that you'll have poor food choices. So in saying that, I want to identify a few of those links today for you so that you can understand, well, okay, if I get control of one area of my life, then I'm more than likely able to get control of the other. So how does this show up in your life? For most people, it's running out of money at the end of the week, or there's not enough structure in their life to pay all the bills, or at night they're going to sleep worrying about all their finances, or on the other hand, they're going to bed worrying about the binge eating episode that they just had. So that's where I want to create those links for you so you can understand your own behavior, because when you understand your own behavior, that's when you can leverage change. So that's why I want to share with you. And I just want to shout out to Deanne, who's just joined us today. So as you guys are starting to join, I'll say hi to you all. So thank you and welcome on board. So we're talking about the 7 habits between poor food and poor money. So the first one that I identified with my clients was those that eat everything on their plate generally doesn't have anything at the end of the day or the end of the week. So if you clear out your plate, you're probably going to clear out your bank account too. So that was the first correlation that we made. Then the whole I want it now. So a bit like a 3-year-old child that wants food now, or I need that new pair of shoes or that new dress now. There's no delayed gratification. So those that have poor hygiene with money and poor hygiene with their food, those two go hand in hand, that need for it absolutely now. Ksenia, hello. Great to talk to you as well. Welcome on board. So we're also looking for a high. Most people that have binge eating habits or financial issues, they're looking for a high. If I get that beautiful outfit, then I'm going to look good and feel good. Or if I have that piece of cake, I'm going to feel amazing. And it's very, very short-lived, because after that, then the guilt sets in. So far we've got no food left on the plate or no money left at the end of the week. We're not thinking of the future and we want it now. We're looking for that high. And then the other one is hiding and deceit. And this came through another client that I was coaching. For her, she was hiding all the purchases in the cupboard or in the boot of the car, but she was also hiding her food. And there's that correlation. And living according to your values. Happiness in life is achieved through 2 things: living according to your values and growth as a human being. And if you're not living according to your values, and especially if you're in a relationship, if you're hiding money but also hiding food, what does that tell me about your values? So that's one of the areas I want you to think about if those are the habits that show up for you. The other one is binge spending. So it links back to that hiding and deceit, is those that binge spend, like go out and splurges because they don't know how to deal with their emotions. They'll also binge eat. And there's that correlation between dealing with emotions or not having resourceful skills to deal with emotions. So I want you to think about that. Have I ever binge spent because of my emotions, or binge ate because of I'm not knowing what to do with this feeling? So there is that correlation. And then that comes back down to restriction then. So if you've binge ate, it's very likely that you're sticking to a chicken and broccoli diet or something really boring where you can't have this and you can't have that. And then with the binge spending, it's, I have a really strict budget and I have to still stick to that. And you haven't given yourself what I call play money. So for me personally, I have $50 to $100, depending on what I'm saving for. If I have to save for something big, then unfortunately I only get $50 spending money. And that's my play money, and I can blow that however I want. And generally it's clothes or a dinner out with my girlfriend. So you can have that play money so that you don't feel restricted. And then the 7th one is friends. And who you spend time with will show who you actually are. You are the sum of the 5 people that you spend time with. And if your girlfriends are saying, oh, how about that little top? That looks cute on you. And you've already spent your play money for the week, then it's very likely that that same friend is going to be, oh, that little piece of cake won't hurt, when you know that it doesn't fit your macros or that you had a piece of cake yesterday. So the 7 areas and links that we are looking at today is no food left on the plate or no money in the account. I want it now, just like a little girl. Not thinking of the future and not planning for the future outcomes. hiding and deceitfulness, which can show up in a relationship as well, and binge spending, binge eating, and then the kind of friends that you hang around with. So yes, I've talked about a lot of the negative stuff, and thanks Emma and Kathleen for joining us. Thank you. I want to share 3 strategies how to deal with this. So I have a philosophy that you save a little, spend a little, give a little. So I believe in giving back. It's my contribution, and it's one of the 6 core needs as a human being is to contribute to others. So for me, it's giving to the Salvation Army because they helped me when my family when we were kids. So I give to them. I spend a little, of course, and then I also save a little as well. So spend a little, save a little, give a little. Also tracking your money, so tracking food and money. So track where you're spending. There's heaps of apps available where you can track what do you spend your money on. And for me, I just go through my bank account and allocate it. Okay, so this was for education, and this was for business, and this was for food, and this was for petrol, and this is car. So you kind of know where all your money's going, because if you don't actually know where your money's going, how are you meant to move forward from that? And then also the last one is tracking your outcomes. So what is it that you want out of this? It might be to take the family on holiday, or treat yourself to a holiday, or a new car, or a house deposit. If you don't have an outcome, there's not going to be a big enough reason for you to actually track your money. But also, if you don't have an outcome when it comes to what you want to do with your food, it might be to fuel your training, or it might be to look good in a certain outfit. If you don't have an actual outcome, you're very unlikely to actually do the steps that you need to do, i.e. save a little, spend a little, tracking and having an outcome. They all link together. And when it comes to food, that's spending a little, and we can't really save a little, but when it comes to spending a little, it's having those little treats every now and then, not being on a restrictive diet, because restriction means binging. And I can pretty much guarantee you anyone that sticks to a rigid diet, and if they look like they're doing it in public, I can guarantee they're not doing it in private. So allowing for me, I was up in Sydney 2 weeks ago, and I gleefully ate 2 scoops of gelato, and I made that fit my macros. So that's really important that you do have those outlets where you get to enjoy yourself. It's not about restriction, but it's about having structure and having flexibility within that structure. So structure gives you flexibility. So I hope you've liked what I've shared today. So give me a like, a comment, anything that you've done that works for you, because we're all here to help each other and you can share that. So I'd love you to share my videos. The more that I can help people and the more that I can serve people, then I'm doing my job properly. And thank you for listening. I'm Kim from Transformations by Kim.